you a fan of Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? Why not join our growing Facebook fans pages? Just search Sewing Street Fans and Yarn Lane TV Fans on Facebook and click Join Group. It's that simple. Never miss out on the latest news and updates from our presenters and guest designers, special offers and plenty of chat with your fellow fans. Share photos of your makes, ask for advice, interact with your favourite guests and presenters and be a part of the ever-growing sewing and yarn community. See you there!
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletters. For Sewing Street, head on over to www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and you're done. It's exactly the same for Yarn Lane. Head on over to www.yarnlane.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and that's it. You are now subscribed to both Sewing Street's and Yarn Lane's email newsletters, so you'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Hi, I'm Helen from Woolly Chic. I design knitting and crochet patterns, and I also teach crochet in Hitchin, Hertfordshire, where I live. My mum taught me to knit and crochet when I was a teenager, but it wasn't until my children were little that I picked up a crochet hook again and literally became hooked, and I haven't stopped crocheting and now knitting ever since. I began designing about 8 years ago and started selling my patterns as part of kits, putting together my designs with British wool, some of which comes from my family's sheep farmed in Pembrokeshire, Wales. I love the fact that with a simple fibre like wool, you can create something really beautiful and unique, like garments or handmade accessories, cushions, blankets. Yeah, the possibilities are limitless. I'm also passionate about teaching crochet and passing on the skills that I have learnt. I'm really looking forward to being part of Yarn Lane TV and sharing some tips and tricks with you, and I really hope that you enjoy watching.
Missed the live show? Don't worry, we recorded it for you. Never miss out on your favourite presenters, guests and makes ever again. Head on over to our YouTube pages to watch back the day's live show and enjoy your favourite demos over and over again. We also have lots of great content exclusive to our YouTube pages, such as product demonstrations, troubleshooting videos, and so much more. Subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a show or video ever again. Have you heard about Yarn Lane, a TV show dedicated to knitting, crochet and all things yarn, bringing you demonstrations from our expert guests as well as the latest tools. And find out what's coming up on the show by following us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our email newsletter or visit the programme guide on our website at www.yarnlane.com.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Yarn Lane. If you've not seen us before, we are a shopping channel that is totally and utterly dedicated to everything yarn. Yarn, whether it's knitting or crocheting. I was trying to say we're the only people that do it as well, but I couldn't think of the right words. Anyway, good afternoon. I've got Wendy Orlando here with me today. But before we do, let's go to the website and have a look at the Yarn Lane website, because this is where you can get in touch and you can buy. Or you can buy from the call centre as well. So today's, it's Bathroom Makes with Rebecca Reed today. So I'm Rebecca Reed today. So I do apologise. If I'd known she was supposed to be, I'd have gone home by now. I hope that. Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, click on Watch Live, and then I'll turn into Rebecca Reed. Right. So you'll see a screen with me chatting there. You scroll down. Oh no. To the right-hand side there, there's a message you can send to that one there. Hello from Hannah, the producer. Then if you scroll down, everything's on pre-order. Once we've introduced everything, there'll be another column saying show deals, right? So this is what we're doing. We're doing the lovely baskets, and we're doing the white, and we're doing the wash sets as well. So they're all there. Everything's there on pre-order. And like, as I say, as soon as we played it, like now, I'm going to put the baskets through. Anna's going to put the baskets. They'll be here on the left-hand side in the column there. So let's have a look at what we're making. First of all, the baskets, please. There you go. So there's a big one, a medium one, and a little one. They are all crocheted, and I have 3 different colourway sets. So shall I do the one you're seeing there, the grey one first? So what you get, now I'm keeping everything in the bags because I get very confused very easily these days. These are brilliant value, right? So look, this is what you've got here. This is your instructions. You get 3 balls of yarn. Oh, it feels lovely. This one is called Calico and Slate. You get 2 calicos. And they're not made of calico, it's the colour. Calico and Slate, right? So we've got King Cole, Chunky. It is 69% premium acrylic, 25% cotton, and 6% wool. And it is, or chunky, I suppose, subtle chunky. They say that about me. Anyway, so you get 2 balls of the calico and 1 ball. Now, you can make one of those, one of those, one of those, and another of, which one can you make which one can you make 2 of? Oh, the little one. So you can make one of those, and 2 of those from this bundle. There you go. So you can make a big one, a medium one, and 2 small ones from this bundle. And how much is it? $19.99. You obviously have to do your own crochet hook, and you will need 5mm crochet hook. 5mm crochet hook. Right. So that's the grey one, or the slate and calico one. Then the next one I'm going to do is pink, which you're going to see being demonstrated. So are they calico as well? Yeah. Rose. Calico and rose they are. Oh, they're going to look lovely. That's what you're going to see being demonstrated. 2 balls of the calico, 1 ball of the rose, plus the... Oh, people checking out straight away on that one. Well done. Plus the instructions. You will need a size 5 crochet hook. Then, there they are, but those are rose ones I just showed you. And it also comes in the blue and white. And I'm guessing that's going to be called denim, but I'll be wrong. Oh, it's called denim. 2 calico, 1 denim, plus your instructions to make these. Susan says, good afternoon to you both. Looking forward to today's show and all the tips from Wendy. She might have run out of tips by now, Susan, because she's been giving us tips all day long, hasn't she? Right, so that's what you're going to see done first. However, before we go over to Wendy, I'll show you what she's going to make in the second part of the show. And that is these. Now, this is a little bit confusing, right? Because the pictures have been taken not quite as we expected, Emma. So, they are makeup wipes. And that is a little bag that you put in the washing machine to wash your makeup wipes in. You can also make a flannel. But you don't put the flannel inside the makeup wipe bag to wash. We'll go through it all in a minute. I'm just making Emma squirm in her chair, that's all. £18.99. Right, I've got 3 different colourways. Oh, exactly the same colourways, actually. So I've got grey and white, not calico this time, grey and white. So, if from your 3 balls of yarn, you can make 2 flannels, 3 sets. You can make 3 sets. You can make 3 sets of everything. This is called silver, and this is called white. Get 3 yarns, and it is King Cole Cotton Soft, 100% cotton, made for King Cole in Turkey. Okay, so you can make 3 sets of that one. I also have that one in the pink and white. Oh, I'll just leave that on top. There you go, there's the pink and white. This one's called Dusky. Ma, I've got a friend, now you're going to laugh, right? I've got a friend, she's called Dusky Delord. That's her name, she used to work in the film industry. And she was very friendly with the actors. The famous actors, the big famous actors. She was adorable. I loved her. I did. She's from Zanzibar. And what film did I do? Being Human. I did 2 films. But anyway, she's lovely. Anyway, look, 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 look. So you get 3 balls. Again, you can make 3 of everything. 3 bags, 3 sets of those, and 3 flannels. Last but not least, we have it in the sacks. S-A-X-E. Sacks. We've called it white and blue. But the actual tone of the blue cotton is sacks. I don't know why. Why not? You won't see that being made until the second half of the show, but I just want you to get, because look at the price. $18.99. Brilliant, brilliant price. Brilliant price. So, Wendy, hello.
Hello.
So you're going to crochet. I can't believe you can crochet those. I'm a bit disappointed that there's no toilet roll cover, to be honest.
I will make you one.
Yay! Hannah wants one as well. What colour would you like, Hannah? Because Hannah's got 3 toilets. What colours would you like? Downstairs bathroom is pink.
Oh, right, okay.
Then the upstairs one's the one the Beatles changed in. White and grey.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, and there's one that anything goes because she just thought nobody ever goes in there. So don't make one for that one. So she'll just have the 2.
But you want the crinoline.
Crinoline.
That's the one,
yeah,
ladies.
Now, my bathrooms are one's grey and white, one's pink and grey, one is sandy coloured, and then one's blue and pink.
How many have you got? Okay.
Oh, and we want the storage tubs as well.
Oh, lovely, fine.
Can we have a look at them before you start crocheting?
Yes, of course.
Can we have a look
of course.
at them? Obviously, they're over there with you.
Right. You made a good point of when you picked it up how soft it was. Now, this yarn, wool yarn, depends what you call it, should not really be suitable for baskets because it's so soft.
Oh, okay.
And like floppy.
Yeah.
But because of the stitch that we're working in, it gives the rigidity to the sides. So you get a really lovely soft basket. I didn't know whether to say bottom or basket then, and it come out bosket. Bosket. So you get a really nice rigid basket.
Yeah, and a rigid bottom.
Yes. So you get your 3 sizes. Now I've done them in this design because I like block. So I do like block colour, but there's nothing to stop you doing stripes. You can do stripes. Or you could do plain.
Oh, like 1, 2 in calico. Oh no, but you've got enough. Have you got enough?
You wouldn't have enough to do all of them in plain because I had about 70 grams left over. Now, I will just say it is going to be dependent on tension because everyone, even if you're using the same wool and the same needle, these make it a little bit different because we all work to we all work to a different tension. And it's a really good thing to point out here, we're only using a 5mm hook across the whole show.
Okay.
And yet we're using chunky for this yarn and we're using double knit cotton for this yarn. And I've said many times before that you don't have to follow the band, the instructions of what the band says. I wanted a really soft, fluid face cloth because you don't want something that's scratchy against your skin. So if you go up a hook size, it's going to make it soft. But these needed to be rigid. Right. So I had to come down a hook size.
Oh, I see. I was going to say, because normally you'd expect that one to be a chunky crochet and that one to hook and that one to be a soft
And they're
one.
exactly the same hook. So I know in the past I've said that, but this is a perfect example to show you that you can chop and change. Now I've gone with a 5. If you wanted to go down even less, you could, bearing in mind the smaller hook you have for the thicker yarn, it's going to hurt your hands. Okay. Because you don't want to go too that you've got really tight stitches. But these are rigid enough. I mean, you could put your you could roll your face cloths up in them.
Well, Hannah wants some for her makeup on her dressing table. Well, yeah, no, only her posh makeup that she shows people, not the.
So what you also could do, if you have 70 grams left over, you could increase if you wanted one of them a bit higher. So the bigger one, if you wanted to go up the sides, then you can do that. Okay. And also what I've done in instructions, at the back of the instructions, I've put a chart on working in rounds. Right. If you have a look at that. Yeah, have you got it in your instructions?
I've got it here, yeah.
So I've actually showed you how to go up to 20 rounds. So if you wanted to make your own, that's it. If you wanted to make your own basket, then you can just increase until you get to the diameter you want.
Right.
because all they are is, when working in rounds, and people get really scared when working in rounds because it's difficult. It absolutely isn't.
Right.
It's all where you do your increases.
Right.
So if you see at the bottom of the basket here,
Yeah.
this is really nice, a really nice round shape. And you'll see on these, they're nice and round because of where I have increased.
Right.
Now that sounds really silly, but we're working in double crochet for these
Right.
baskets, and double crochet is the smaller stitch in
Right, yeah.
in crochet. So I only need to increase 6 stitches each round. If I was working in trebles, I would have to increase 12 to allow for the height. So if I were to keep increasing in the same place in each of these rounds, it would turn into a hexagon.
Oh, okay.
If I was working with 8 stitch increase, it would turn into an octagon. A 10, I have no idea. Or
What's 10?
it's not a no, something.
It might be
no.
dodecahedron or whatever that's.
And then a 12, depending how
Yeah.
many you do. But when I get to a certain round, I then alternate where I increase, which brings it back into a circle. So which is fine if you want a hexagon, but I like my things that are round, that stay round.
So if you did a hexagon, would it, when you went up the sides, would it still be a hexagon shape?
No, because it would loosely be a hexagon,
It wouldn't
but
be
no,
like a okay.
because they're not stiff. As you can see, although they are rigid enough to be able to stand up, it's not going
Wouldn't
to
hold a straight
no,
line.
it wouldn't.
Okay.
And also, what I've done is, I don't know if we're allowed to mention names, but I've got the little pots that have the earbuds things in.
Say whatever you like. We don't
okay.
sell them.
Oh, that's kind. So I've
What
actually
are they?
the earbuds.
Earpods,
yeah. For like makeup and doing your.
Oh, cotton tips.
That's
you
the
mean.
one. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant these.
Oh,
You know
no.
those things.
You know the little pots that they come in?
Yes.
Or like you can get the coffee pots when you finish with them.
Yeah.
You can cover them with these.
Pringles. You have to make a very high one. Hannah,
Oh,
for your
no,
Pringles.
no, not for your Pringles. Oh, no. Well, no, you could.
Yeah, but you have a very long, tall one like that.
All I
wouldn't
would say is the smaller your bottom,
you? Yeah, smaller your bottom, Hannah.
the more chance it is of falling over.
So that's good that you've got a big bottom then, Hannah, to stop you falling over.
because
She's nodding.
because it's chunky wool, it's going to be quite bouncy at the bottom.
Yeah.
So you need quite a wide bottom. But yes, then you can just make your own size.
Perfect.
So what we're going to do, and working in rounds is really not
So
not
when
hard.
you say working in rounds, does that mean we haven't got a seam to sew up?
We just keep going round
Oh,
and
okay,
round
okay,
and
okay,
round.
okay.
Now, these ones I created them in the round before I finished writing the pattern, and I've changed the pattern because normally you would just keep going in a continual spiral, but it gives you a seam, and I didn't want that.
Okay.
So the base is done in a round, and then when we get to the sides, you'll see in a moment.
No, that's fine. I just wondered if
there is
no offence, I don't take this wrong with. I thought I could see a seam down
you
the
can,
back of there.
you can, because that was continual.
But today the pattern isn't like that. You're not going to have that. at the
No,
back.
because when you're going in the round, it's kind of going up like going up in a
Yeah, like
spiral.
one of those car parks, yeah.
Exactly. So what I'm doing is I stop it and then I start again, so you
Right.
don't get that.
Right, okay.
So the first thing that you want to do is create a magic ring or a chain 4 to create a ring. Now, I like working the magic ring because you can pull it in so it disappears. So
Right.
it's not there anymore. If you are new to crochet and you can't quite get the magic ring, and you're then just chain 4 or 5, slip stitch back into the first chain to create your ring for you to work your stitches in, but then you will need to go afterwards and just do a running stitch around it to pull it tight.
pull it in.
Yes.
Right.
So the first thing we're going to do, and we have shown this before, we do them all different. I am a little bit cat-handed because I'm a lefty doing it right-handed.
Okay.
So the first thing you need to do is create a circle and then pull the working yarn. Now the working yarn is the yarn that comes from the hook. Put your hook through and just chain 1. Now that will secure your ring. So you now have a ring that you can work into. It's a little
Right.
bit hard to see in this colour, isn't it? And by working a 1 chain, it gives my first stitch, in this instance, which is a double crochet, something to sit, I'm working in, double crochets. It's something to sit against.
Right.
So I'm going to be doing double crochets within this ring. Now we can make this smaller or bigger, but at the moment I just want to keep it fairly big just so that I can work the stitches. I'm going to do 1 double crochet. Now double crochet is the smaller stitch, so I insert my hook into that ring, I yarn over, pull through, and I have 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through both loops, and that is a double crochet. Now that is my first stitch worked, and then what I do is I just put a stitch marker in the top of that first stitch, just so I know where the beginning of the round is.
We've got stitch markers on the website, not necessarily that one, but we've got stitch markers on the website.
So stitch markers are absolutely crucial when you're working in the round, and especially the method that I'm going to do. So I just do a further 5 double crochets into the round. 3, 4, 5. Remember, I already did 1, so I now have 6 double crochets. So I'm going to take that out because it's going to drive me crazy. So I'm just going to have to keep where it is. So you would then insert where your stitch marker was, and that is going to be the first stitch of the next round. So we do not close a round. We're going to be working in a continual round. Now to increase from, to make it lay flat, I'm going to increase 6 in each of the rounds. Now I've got 6 stitches here. So that means if I'm increasing 6 stitches, I have to work an increased stitch in each stitch from that previous round, because 6 and 6 makes 12, and that's what I'm looking for. So I double crochet into the first one, but then I go back into that one to increase. And that is an increase. It's as easy as that. You simply work 2 stitches or more into the same stitch before. So that's my first increase. That's my second, so I've worked 2 into the same stitch. My third increase, 4th increase, 5th increase, and 6th increase. Now that was driving me crazy, that stitch marker, but there would be a stitch marker to indicate the first stitch of the round. So I've now, as you can see, I've completed an increase round, and when I lay it down, it's flat. Now that's because I've increased the right amount of stitches to allow it to do that. Now when I do it, I do 5 rounds of increase by increasing at the beginning of a segment. Now what I have is I have my stitch marker in here, and then because I increase 6 times in the round, I break the round down into 6 to work my increases.
Yeah.
Have I lost you?
No, you've not with me. Hannah switched the light on the gallery. She's pulling funny faces.
Is she?
Oh, it's not a funny face. That's a normal face. Sorry, carry on.
All right, so the next increase...
I'm following this. I can follow this.
So the next increase, I'm going to work an increase in the first stitch, and then a normal stitch, increase, normal stitch, increase, normal stitch. So I'm increasing now.
All the way round?
All the way round. I'm increasing every other stitch. So that's 6 times. So I'm going to do an increase in the first, and just a normal double crochet in the second.
Teresa said she'll make these for our bottles of wine.
Or, I don't drink, so.
No, I don't either.
So that's the second. The third is, so I'm increasing the first and just do a normal double crochet. That's my 3rd time round. Increase in the next and just a double crochet 4th time. Increase, taking a tail with me. 1, 2, and then 1 into the next. Increase, and then just a double crochet, and then you come back to the beginning of the round. I think I probably needed to do more, but I got lost when I left my tail behind. So again, because I'm increasing the right amount of stitches each time, it is laying flat.
Yeah.
And then you just keep following the pattern. As long as you place your stitch marker in the front, then I will just, it's rather difficult to get your head round because I don't do it quite the same as everyone else. But if you have a look at the chart at the back.
On the back page.
Well, it's not on mine.
Oh.
No, I think I must have lost that one. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so in here, it'll explain it a little bit easier for you. So telling you what round number they are. So I do an increase into the beginning of the sequence, into the segment,
right,
up until round 5. When I get to round 6, I then do the increase in the middle of the segment. So I've broken the round down into 6 different segments, and each of those segments have the same sequence in them. So you just repeat the sequence 6 times. Now, by using a stitch marker in the front, in the first stitch, if the phone goes, or you know where you are and you can just frog back to that. But then all you need to do is you don't have to worry about what number stitch you are in the round, because working in the round is all about your count. It really is. So say if I'm doing round 7, I need to do my increase in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet into the next 5 stitches. And then I increase in the next, 1 double crochet into the next 5, and I do that 6 times around the round. So it makes it much, much easier when you're working in the round. And again, we'll notice that every other round, I'm doing the increase in the middle of the sequence. So on the first one, it's trying to take it back into a hexagon. The second one, it's bringing it back into a circle. And that's how you get the really lovely circle bases. Now you can do that, you can keep going. Once you know this sequence, and I am sure that when you get to round 20, you'll understand how it works.
So is round 20 the biggest one?
Round 20, no, we go up until round 15. So I've given you more if you wanted to go a little bit bigger.
Okay, fine.
And I'm just explaining how you can increase that even further if you want to.
Yeah.
So you could do a great big floor rug as long as you use this principle, and it's always going to stay round.
Exactly.
And then when you've got the base to the relevant size, and there's 3 different sizes in here, so you need to stop when it tells you to stop, and then you just keep the same amount of stitches for the sides. So if the larger one has 90 stitches, so when you get to 90 stitches, you then don't increase anymore.
Right.
And of course, it's got nowhere to go but up.
Upwards, yeah.
But upwards. And then the first round on the base, we do something called a back loop only stitch.
Right.
And that means that you just work into the back loop only. And then it gives you this nice little ridge here, and it just makes the side stand up a little bit better when they go up. And this now is what the secret is going to be to creating the rigid sides, because what we do is we do a hidden round.
Right.
So we do a round of slip stitches in here. So
Right, so just tell me, where is that the end of your circle? Have you?
So I'm now starting to go up the side.
Okay, so you finished the circle.
I finished my base down here, and then I've done my back loop only round.
Right.
There, so it's created that nice little ridge, and it's making it go upwards.
Right.
And then you do a round of double crochets.
Yeah.
And then you do a round of slip stitches.
Okay, before you do that, Ange wants to know, do you do person-to-person workshops? It would be brilliant and such fun to learn from you. I keep trying, but I just can't get it.
No, can't get it yet.
No,
that little word, can't get it yet.
Yeah, but...
I would be more than happy to do Zooms, yes.
Zooms, but when it's in normal times, will you do one-to-one?
But I'm right down south, but I would,
I don't know where Ange lives.
Oh, yeah, no, she might be, yes. If she's local to me, then absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
Fine. And Claire said she made a teddy bear rug for her boys' room. I increased till I had a huge circle. Then I made half circles for ears and a contrast colour for snout and nose.
They look amazing as well.
Yeah.
They are incredible.
Right, so do your secret what?
Yes, so I've done a secret round, which is just a round of slip stitches. Now, all a slip stitch is you go, and now you have to go into the back loop only. So you go into the back loop only and yarn over and just pull off the hook, and that is a slip stitch. So you just do a round of those, and then that becomes the hidden round, and this is the secret. I'm just going to use this hook. This is the secret to the stability in the sides, because now what we're going to do is we're going to do a round, and it is all explained fully in the instructions. We're going to do a round of double crochet stitches, but we're going to encase these slip stitches in that double crochet.
Right.
Now, not that you've ever made them because you don't crochet, but if you make baskets, a really good method is to put a rope inside it as you go round, and then you work around the rope. We're kind of doing that here, but without having the rope.
Yeah.
We've got our own rope in that slip stitch.
So how often do you have to do that then? Not in every row. On every...
So I'm going to do, you do a round of slip stitches, and then you encase them in double crochet. Then you do a round of slip stitches.
Oh, so you do it every single time?
Every single time. And as it grows, that's what gives the side, it's quite stiff. I mean, because we're only working in chunky, it really should just be falling all over the place because you don't really normally get a chunky to stand up. But because we've gone down a hook and we've put that secret layer in, that's what's giving those sides.
Hannah wants to know, how did you know it was going to work? When you got that yarn, how did you know it was going to work doing that?
It took me a long time to work out which stitch was best to keep it stable. I made loads, and you know, as designers, what you don't see before this comes to air is that we've probably ripped things out and made them and remade them. And this is, I got very frustrated with this one. I just thought, you know, I'm just going to put a hidden slip stitch in there. And it created that rope effect. So I was really happy with it. But going down the hook size is key because you're making it firmer. So you don't want to go up a hook size because then you'll have floppy sides.
What's you saying, Hannah? Oh, yeah, Wendy takes the stress, so you don't have to. Yeah, exactly. Because you've sorted it all out for us. We're not going to get floppy bowls, basically.
You shouldn't. No. But having said that, I am a loose crocheter. I know that I am. But if you are really, really, really loose, then they may be a bit floppy. If that is the case, you will have to go down the hook size. But then if you're a
tight crocheter, will they be even firmer?
They will. But what I was saying about the point earlier, if you go too small with your hook, it's going to hurt your hands.
Yeah.
If you're fine with that.
Sabido says that she's quite a tight crocheter, so would hers be more sturdy?
Hers will be sturdier, but it would be very slightly smaller because the tighter you knit, the smaller your projects. I haven't done a tension swatch with this because this doesn't matter if it fits or it doesn't fit. Yeah. Because if you find that you've got something that you want to crochet round, then you just go one more round if it's not.
Right, I'm not going to give away where Wendy lives, but you are near her, Teresa. Teresa said, you have to answer where you are. This is Teresa, right? This is somebody else, not Ange, you asked before. Are you, where down south are you? I'm in Uckfield near Brighton. That's not far from you, is it?
That's not far from me at all.
So there you go. So when we're up and running,
definitely,
then Wendy will do
Then
classes.
message me and I will get you crocheting because that little word, you have to put that little word on the end. Can't do it yet because we will get you doing it because crochet is one of those frustrating arts that you eventually get that light bulb moment and it will come. I promise you it will come. Right, so we've now done our round of slip stitches. So what we're going to do next is we're going to encase those slip stitches inside a double crochet stitch. Now we can see the V and underneath the V is a little space. Can you see that? So I'm going to do a chain one first because I want something for the first double crochet to sit next to, and then I'm going to double crochet underneath that slip stitch.
Okay.
So can you see? Whoops. So it is all explained in the instructions, because you want to incorporate that slip stitch in the side. So
half the grey one sold out, just so you know.
So actually, it's because I've started. What you need to do, sorry, I've started. I should have done a little bit more on the sides because what you want to do, you want to go. I needed to be up one. You need to go into the top of the double crochet from the previous round of double crochets. So you go in the top of the previous. And you can see now that that slip stitch has completely, I'll do a few more, so I'm just going in the top of the double crochet, and that has completely hidden that row of slip stitches.
What would it look like if you didn't hide them?
If you didn't hide them, you would have a ridge going round, and it wouldn't be quite as dense. That's all.
Yeah.
But again, crochet is all about your individual interpretation. If you find you want to do it a different way, sorry, that's better, and that's what I was looking for. So I'm just going to show you. So now you can see here that it just looks like I've worked 2 rounds of double crochet. You wouldn't know that there was a slip stitch in there, but it's because it's hidden inside, it's kind of acting like a rope if we were to make a rope basket. And I've made lots of rope baskets and I love making them. They're not the easiest thing to get your head round to start off with, but this here, because you don't have to worry about the rope and encasing it, you do it with the slip stitch. And as I say, it does, I know that we're a little bit tight for time, but it does explain all in the instructions, because where you start again is crucial so that you get that nice line going up the side. And then you just keep going round and round and round and stop where you want to.
And so she's in Leeds, but happy to travel, so keep an eye out for when Wendy has workshops on. Thank you. And Claire says, I remember the light bulb moment. I was 8 or 9,
Ooh.
and I was doing chain. Oh, I don't understand that. Anyway, she was 8 or 9. Right, okay. So the bundles for the baskets are as follows. Denim first, which you just saw being crocheted then. You get 2 calico, 1 denim and your instructions. £19.99. Then we're going to rose, which sounds like it's catching up with grey. Couple behind. This is the rose one. So again, you get the 2 calico, 1 rose, and you get the instructions. You can make all 3 and an extra little one. So you're going to get 4 bowls, baskets, out of, and that's a £5 each, isn't it? Okay. Be lovely gifts. I wouldn't say no to one of those as a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. I might not use mine in the bathroom, but like you were saying earlier, Hannah, would you put her medication in one? She'd put, what would you say you put in there? Contact lens and all the stuff with it, because she's always doing something. You know what you need? You need one of these inside your front door, and when you walk in, you put your work keys and your house keys in the basket inside your front door, because then you'll know where they are all the time. Right, then, you lose them all the time. Right, I don't know what I've done with the instructions for this last one. Oh, I gave them to you, didn't I? That's it. No, I actually gave them, not lost them. So you get this one, you get the grey, which is called slate and calico, and your instructions. That's in the lead at the moment, but only just. Right, shall I do a round of what you're about to do, or should we just get on with what we're going to do? Very quickly. So these are the crochet. You want the denim first. And we've got, no, Sax. It's not denim, this one. This one's called Sax Blue. So you get 1 blue. These are cotton, double knit, 2 white, plus your instructions. You can make 3 sets out of what's here. So you could make 3 flannels, 3 bowls, and 3 little bags, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 18 face wipes. Okay, that's the one in Sax Blue. Then I've got it in pink. Rose, you got white and rose, this one, white and rose, plus your instructions. Oh, it's a different, put it in a different way that way. Right, and then last but not least, the silver and white. Most popular. Oh, Morag says, I'm loving the show, but I need to concentrate on my knitting. Last row I had a few slip stitches on increase stitches. Oh dear.
Sorry.
Morag, sorry, it's Wendy's fault. Right, go.
I take full responsibility, I do apologise. Yeah. So the next is the wash kit. So this was, I do an awful lot of staying away and I like to take my own things with me.
Right.
So this is what made me design these. And the great thing about these is these are brilliant for beginners, because believe it or not, this is just the half treble. That's it.
A half treble?
That's it. Because of the way we go in the stitch, it gives that lovely lacy effect.
Okay.
So they're really, really quick and easy to make. And then with the edging, that is just a reverse double crochet edging. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well, because that's a really nice edging. I'm not sure if Emma can come in closer and see this, because it's really hard to see on screen. But you get a twisted effect. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So you get a twisted effect on the edge. Mm-hmm. And that's simply going clockwise instead of going anti-clockwise.
Right, yeah.
Very easy. And then we've got our little face pads, which again are just half trebles. So the only stitch you need is half trebles and double
I've
crochet.
never heard of a half treble. I've been doing this crochet malarkey now for 6 months, 7 months.
Have you heard of, must have heard of the V-stitch.
Yes, yeah, the V-stitch.
So, and,
yeah.
and the bag is made out of V-stitch.
Okay.
The half treble is simply complete half treble. Yes. So what we're going to do first is we're going to create, let's do it in the blue.
Right.
Is that a good colour actually for Emma?
Emma, is that
that
that's fine.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's fine.
That's cool, because I know some of the colours don't show up as well, do they? So again, I start with a magic ring because you can pull the centre in.
When did you, but when on the bowl, so I'm going back to the bowl, when did you pull them, when did you pull it tight? What point do you pull it tight? Right at the end?
You can pull it tight whenever you want. You can pull it
Once you've gone past
But
it.
I would do the first round, go into the next stitch and maybe 2, 3 or 4 stitches after that before you pull it.
Okay.
Don't pull it as soon as you've created it because you'll pull it tight and then the first stitch will disappear.
Yeah.
If you use your stitch marker, it shouldn't,
Right.
but it's hard to find.
But you can do it at any time. So even if
But then you can do it.
Course the way through the bowl. You think, oh, I didn't do it.
No, you could do it at the end. You could do it right
fine.
at the end.
Right, okay.
So we're just going to create our magic ring again. So to do that, we make a loop and then we pull the working yarn through.
Oh, now Teresa, it's funny you mentioned that. Teresa makes these for dishcloths. You said that earlier, didn't you?
I
You
did,
didn't want
yes.
to use them as a flannel. Use it as a dishcloth.
I would.
Yeah?
Yes, I would.
Anyway.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to do, remember that chain 1 because that secures the ring and it's not going to unravel now. Now this time, and this is perfect because it's opposite to the bowl, I'm going to be doing a half treble. Now because a half treble is a bigger stitch, I need to start with 12.
Right.
So I'm going to chain 2. Now normally I would chain 3, wouldn't I, for a treble?
Yeah.
But I'm going to chain 2 because I need the height, and then I'm going to do a half treble. So all you do is yarn over your hook, insert into the ring, yarn over and pull through. Now we have 3 loops on the hook. So with a treble, we do yarn over, take the first 2 off, yarn over, take the
both,
second 2.
yeah.
So with a half treble, we just do yarn over and pull all 3 off at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. That's an even easier stitch.
Yeah.
So I need to have 12 of those. Now my 2 chain counts as 1. I've just done 1, so that's 2. So I just need to do 10 more. So 3, 4. Now I'll just count first because I shall lose count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, sorry my hands are a bit sticky, 10, 11 and 12. So I've now created my 12 and I want to make sure you can put a stitch marker in that 2 chain if you want to, because I don't want to pull it so tight. Now some people don't count the 2 chain as a stitch, they just sort of miss it and go past. That's fine if that's what you want to do, that's absolutely fine. And then I just pull that, and then to close the round, now this time we do close the round, I'm going to do a slip stitch in the top of that 2 chain that we worked. So I insert my hook, yarn over and pull them through. Now I could leave that like that now, John, and make the whole of the thing before I pull it, or I could pull that, I can pull that ring. To your point, you can just pull it when you want. Obviously you need to leave a long enough tail because you don't want it to unravel. Now we're going to do our second round and we're going to chain 2 because again we want the height, but we're now going to count that as 1 half treble.
Right.
Now we want to increase in every one like we did with the double crochet. So we want to increase in every stitch from that first round. So I'm now going to go back down into the bottom of where the 2 chain came from with a half treble. Yarn round, insert hook.
I think that's what a lot of people do, is miss that one. You know, you think, oh, don't need to do that one, I'll do the first full stitch. But you have to go through the very, very
You do,
first
otherwise
one.
you end up at the end not having enough stitches. And then all you simply do is increase in every stitch. Now, the first round is not quite as bad because it's all kind of one, but what we're looking to do is increase into the very top of the stitch. We don't want to go in between the stitches. I don't know if you can pick that up. There's a loop right at the top of the stitch. Now that's what creates this little holey effect.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going right at the top of the stitch, and because we're putting 2 stitches into one, it's naturally pulling it a little bit bigger. So that's what's creating that. And then we just increase. Remember, an increase is nothing more than going into the same stitch more than once. Now you don't have to just increase 1 if the pattern tells you to increase 2. So an increased stitch could be, you know, more than 1.
Yeah.
But it is simply working into the same space again. And then we just go all the way round and we keep going until we get back to the beginning. And then I would pull that centre tight. So then, when we go round, we complete our rounds on here. So I've got my first that's got 12 stitches in. My second round that has got 24, and then I've done the same principle as I did with the basket, that I increased every other stitch on the third round, because remember, to keep something flat you need to be consistent with how many you increase, and because it's a high stitch I've gone with 12 and it's nice and flat.
Perfect.
To finish off, you can change colour like I have on these ones.
Yeah.
So on around the outside, or you can just do plain ones like this. It's entirely up to you. Now these make fabulous little stocking fillers, because you can just make them, or if you're going to sell them, I don't mind, as long as you don't sell the pattern. You can make what you like and sell with them, and then make a few, put them in a nice bundle, and then put a nice piece of card round with maybe your logo on, and that would look really nice. So just to finish these off, we're going to do a double crochet all the way around the outside. So we're going to insert in the top of the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over. That's the smaller stitch in crochet, and that's one of the easiest stitches, but it also is the one that grows the least. So you have to do an awful lot of double crochets to equal the height of a treble, but it's a much denser stitch.
Yeah.
So if you see with the baskets, there's no gaps in between them, but because I've done just even half trebles here has given me gaps, which is great, which is what you want when you've got something that you're wringing out and you're getting wet. So that's how you make those.
Perfect.
Right, for the dishcloth, now see, you've got me at it now.
No, it wasn't me, it was Teresa.
For the face cloth, I've done exactly the same as I have for the face pad, but I've worked in rows.
Right.
So that's exactly the same stitch, but I've now worked 1 stitch in each of the others. So to create that, you need to create a chain and join it in the round. Now I create my chain and do my first row of stitches before I join it.
It's in the round, but it's flat. Is there 2 sides to it?
Oh, sorry, I've gone on the wrong one. That's it. I'm on the bag.
Oh,
I've
okay,
moved on to the
that's
bag.
fine, that's fine,
It's
that's
a good
fine.
job you're here, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's a good job you're here. Yeah, I was
dozing off, but I noticed.
It's a good job you did.
Linda says, thank you, Wendy, for a fabulous demo. Got a question from Ian very quickly. Ian here, is that double knit and what size hook? I might have missed that from Ian. It's a size 5 and yes, it's double knit.
I knew you were there for a reason.
Yeah, thank you. Get on with it. We've got a few minutes left.
But because we've gone up a hook, it's made it much more open weave. So you create your chain, and then you work your first. It's all in the pattern. You work your first row of stitches, and I just wanted to show you how to do turning, because a lot of time people are a bit scared working in a square because they go in and out and in and out and in and out. So all we're going to do is we work the stitch, which is a half treble. And so we do yarn over.
Yeah.
And this shows my point here is I don't want to go in between. Thanks Emma. I don't want to go in between those stitches. I want to go in that little hole that's at the top.
Is that in the middle of the V?
No, we're not in the V. This is,
this is no V.
So we've got the stitches here. I'm just trying to, we've got the stitches there.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
So I don't want to go in between the stitches.
Yeah.
I want to go in the top of the stitch. And that's what gives it, I mean, you can if you wanted to, but it'll make it a lot more dense and it won't be as holy, because we're now stretching this stitch to its capacity, but it creates nice little holes for you. So remember, our half treble is yarn over, insert, and we're inserting in that top of the stitch, yarn over, pull through. We've
Yeah.
got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. That's a really, really easy stitch, but how effective is it when you go into the top of the stitch? We're creating something completely different. So I get to the end and I work my last stitch in the top. So I've finished my row, and now what I want to do is I want to do what's called a turning chain. So I just chain 1, and I'm remembering where that last stitch is, because that last stitch on the end of this row becomes the first stitch on the next row. So by doing the chain 1, it's taking me away from that stitch, which means it's not going to unravel when I go back in it. So I turn. Now it doesn't matter if you chain and turn or turn and chain, and then all I'm going to do is do my first stitch into that first stitch of the row. A lot of people miss that because they think they need to go into the second stitch, but you must go back into that first stitch, and that's what will give it a really neat edge and keep it square. Stitch count is really, really important, but for something like this you can actually see the stitches really clearly. And what I always advise people to do is put a stitch marker in each end, and that way you know exactly where the beginning and the start of your row is. Right, so what I want to show you now, I'm just going to go far enough just to show you. Just break that off, because I'm going to do it in a different colour, otherwise I don't think you're going to get the effect.
Is this the loopy bit at the
end?
end?
This is the edging,
Yeah.
right, because I just think that this is very, very easy to do. So I'm just going to, again, it tells you where to start in the pattern, but I'm just going to join my new colour. So I've got my double crochet there, and now we would normally work this way, so you work that way, but we're going to work backwards, which it does feel a little bit strange, but you do need to keep a loose tension here, because instead of going in this stitch is where I would normally go, I'm going to work my double crochet in the one before.
Well, it looks a bit awkward.
It feels, sorry, I got my tail. It feels awkward until you can start doing it. But again, the more you practice something, the easier it gets. And then I just go back into that one with a double crochet. Now you can see I'm pulling the loop. It's quite a big loop. So I'm keeping my tension nice and soft and nice and loose. And if you can be consistent, then you're going to get a really neat edge. Now you do need to work quite a few of them.
Hang on, we're going backwards, but we're actually still crocheting going that way, aren't we? Hang on.
You're going that way?
Yeah.
You're going that way? Yeah. Right, so hang on. I've got it all twisted, so let me have a look. Yeah, I'll just show you. If I'll do a few more. But this is...
Oh, yes, I see that.
You see, yeah. But you have to do... Sorry, I'm doing it on such a small piece. I should have done it on a bigger piece. But you can see that you go backwards, and then what happens, I would be going round that way.
Right.
And then it gives a really, really cute edging, because it looks like bobbles.
Well, it's like scallops, isn't it?
You can do it by going forwards, but that is what you would need to do is you go to do the double crochet and then you twist your hook all the way round before you insert it. So that is even more complicated because it tightens the stitch, whereas this one keeps a nice loose. We haven't got time to do the other one, have we?
Just walk me through. Just walk me through the other bag.
Right. So this one here is the V stitch. So this is a really, really easy stitch. A V, if you can see there, I'm just trying to show you. You can see it's made up of V's.
Right.
The V's down here.
Yeah.
And it's simply a treble, a one chain and a treble all in the same stitch. Right. Now, because you're putting a one chain in between, I've just finished that one off. Because you're putting a one chain, I'm doing a treble and then a one chain and then a treble all in the same stitch. It's pushing these two stitches apart.
Right.
And it's creating that V. So and that's how it's worked. So you work all the way around. Now with this one, I start off the same as I would with the face cloth, and I work the first row and then I join it.
Right.
Otherwise you run the risk of it twisting. So if you complete the first one and then join it, and then you go all the way round and you just finish the round by inserting, now you work a 3 chain to get the height for the treble, so you just complete the round by working a slip stitch into the 3rd chain. You do 4 chains at the beginning, which allows 3 for the treble and 1 for that centre V, so you want to make sure that you go into the 3rd chain.
Perfect. When are you in next?
Oh, not this Monday, next Monday.
On both Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, or
Yeah.
just Yarn Lane?
It's block of the month.
That'll be with Rebecca Reed, because
Block of the
Rebecca
month.
Reed's back on Monday, because that's July then, isn't it? Rebecca Reed's block of the month.
Yeah.
Right, okay, very quickly. We'll go. Yeah. Hannah's gone on to the wash set, white and silver. Yes, here you go. So you get 2 balls of white, 1 ball of silver. This is cotton. You also get the instructions. You've got enough in there to make 3 of the bags, 3 of the flannels, and 18 of the little makeup. If you don't want to make the flannels, you can make more bags and little... It's all right, don't worry. Just carry on working here. There's only 7 of those left. There's only 7 of the silver and white ones left. The blue one now, sacks it's called. You get 2 white and 1 sacks, and the instructions, cotton again, double knit, £18.99. Beautiful. Then I've got the rose. Oh, no, it's not called rose on this one, is it? Oh, it is rose, sorry, it is rose. 2 white, 1 rose, and your instructions. Again, enough to make 3 sets. £18.99. Over half the stock of those have gone. Okay, lovely. Then I'm just going to recap the baskets. Grey one first. So this one is you get 2 of the calico, 1 of the slate, plus the instructions. 4 left. 4 of those left. That's it now. 4 of those left. If you've got it in your basket, please check out. And that makes those. And you can make the big one, the medium one, and 2 little ones out of this kit. Lovely. Then, denim. So you get 2 of the calico, 1 the denim, and the instructions. At £19.99. Lovely. And then, for Hannah's bathroom in the pink, you get 2 calico, 1 rose, plus your instructions. So she'll have 1 big one, 1 medium, and 2 small, please. All her different hair products. Curly Girl are us. She's got her root clips in one, scrunchies in another, and your what sprays? Lead-in sprays. Gel spray. Oh, those 2. They invest in this Curly Girl thing. Well, invest time in it. But they follow Curly Girl. It's on the Instagram and everything like that. That's how Hannah gets all her beauty. And then Emma does it, and she comes in her hair all scraped up in a bun. So you'd never know. You'd never know she had long curly hair. Anyway, thank you, Wendy. Thank you. Make sure you check out your baskets. Now, Yarn Lane is back on Monday with me, because it's not July yet, is it? Who's in on Monday? Oh, it's the book. It's the book day. Oh, it's a really, really, really special day, right? So we've got fantastic... And there's a competition. Anyway, it's all Search Press. Brilliant, brilliant books from Search Press. So I'll see you then. But I'll also see you on Sewing Street on Monday as well, because I'm in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week, if I told you that. And have a lovely rest of your day. Enjoy Vix on the shows tomorrow. I'll see you on Monday.